Well, good morning, and this is your Monday, May 9th, 2011 Master Pattern Report. Dr. Bob Flower here on this beautiful Monday morning. All right, well, look, our Master Pattern hit on all three calls last week. The S&P on the 2nd, silver on the 4th and the 6th. One other call on the the silver bottom at $35, just missed at $33.75 as the recorded low. By the way, that gave us a correction of some 35%. We're still weak in the commodities industry as well as oil at this point. In fact, talking about oil, it's amazing how soon an investigation into oil trading was announced that here we go, oil takes a pounding, down about what 12-13% in less than a week. And the curious thing is that this is the second time this has happened within the past 3 years. You go back to 2008 and the exact same thing happened when oil was hitting up around $146, $147. Boom, investigation was announced, and boom, down they came. It's amazing how justice works, isn't it? Okay, some further news from overseas. Watch for the euro to take a hit just about around this time here within the next week or so. I think means that an up move for the U.S. dollar, which will keep metals at reduced levels for a while before they start bouncing back to higher levels. I know they took a bounce this morning, but I don't know that, and they may bounce it just a little bit further here, but I don't know that they're going to get back to our previous highs just yet. I think it's going to be a little bit, but I'll have more on that for you by next week, okay? Well, we're going to talk about our little bad boy again, real estate. The private homes. Remember, folks, I'm talking about not income producing properties. Private home sector is about to take a hit once again. And one of the main reasons is that the Fed is backing off its QE2 program in June. So that's a focus point to watch insofar as real estate is concerned. There's some major issues as to the private market moving in to pick up the slack there, and if it does, what is the difference of sale price, the discount of this bad paper and REOs as compared to what the Fed was paying? Which, when all that comes out, that should be very interesting reading. I mean, talk about getting a bullet in the eye. So in any event, look for, and this, by the way, I think from what I can see, and I can't say for a fact, but what I can see, this may be the next to the last downturn for real estate before it levels off. And I have a feeling that when it does, which will be perhaps by the end of the year, beginning of next year, because I don't see next year being a good market for anything. But it looks like what's going to happen is the market's just going to stay stagnant for 2 or 3 years. So for those of you who may be planning to buy or planning to sell, you base yourself on that information, and I think it's pretty accurate. Okay, are the good old days returning? Some of you may have been around when back in the 30s and 40s, just at the end of the Depression, during and at the end of the Depression, and in the war, World War II. When Victory Gardens were the big thing, and returning your bottles for a penny, 2-penny refund, well, some of the outcomes of the poor economy are taking us back to those days, it appears. If you're old enough to remember the Victory Gardens, well, they're back, and they're starting to make a big comeback, along with recycling and massive garage sales, an outgrowth of pawn businesses, expansion of the pawn businesses, in fact, and secondhand shops. Big move into these areas, and expansion of their business. Sign of the times. Perhaps a return to old-fashioned values? Well, let's hope so. Okay, next, our good friends, the Fed. The Fed is trying to bluff Congress on the debt ceiling. Now that they've gone from May, okay, deadline, to June, to now early August. What crap! I hope you're telling your friends about this, and if they refute it, argue like hell, because this is plain bull. The Republicans and the Blue Dogs had better hold their line on this, so there's going to be some major weeping and gnashing of teeth coming this year and next. More signs of government control? Well, okay. More signs of government abuse as well. Workmen's compensation boards and other state agencies' unemployment. They're going after the 1099 businesses, and the fools are killing things. They don't understand it. What they're trying to do is discredit 1099 people. And hit the employers for penalties and interest charges, saying that these people are really not 1099 employees, but they are in many cases. However, they're going after the employers and hitting them with these penalties and picking up a lot of extra dollars. If you look in your local newspapers, you'll see column after column after column after column every week on these small businesses that are getting hit for $2, $3, $5, $10, $15, $20,000 for penalties for these issues, and there's no adjudication. I mean, you're wrong, you pay, and then if you want to refute it, take them to arbitration or something, you can, in front of their arbitrators, by the way. So this is not good, folks. This is very distressing to not only the business owners who are employing people of this type, to the actual 1099ers themselves. Of course, they're the ones that are going to get hurt in the end run. These people are just not going to hire them, period, and or cut back on them. I mean, there's no two ways about it. Who's going to take? How much abuse are you going to take from these fools before you tell them, hey, go play with yourself someplace? This is absolute nonsense. People better get real about this and better understand that this world is not only about them, it's about others. And if they don't start chipping in and fighting for things, they're going to see the repercussions going down the line that are going to hurt everybody. When you lose your pension or part of your pension, when your wife or your husband loses their part-time job, well, guess what? Reality just hit you right square in the ass. And it's time for you to wake up and start fighting for things that, even though it may not directly affect you now, will certainly affect you within the next coming year. All right, folks? A word to the wise is sufficient. The blood is being let. The blood is being let, folks. These are changing times. And if our governance and our thinking doesn't change, we're in for some really hard times. Other than that, have a great week.